You know, we've all seen them, those official-looking legal documents that are just packed with jargon. They can be pretty intimidating. But what if I told you that hidden inside all that legalese is often a story that's way simpler and, frankly, more surprising than you might think? Let's decode this one together.
So, we start here, with the official seal of a United States Court of Appeals. It just looks important, doesn't it? This seal tells you that a formal final action has been taken by a pretty high-level court. When you see something like this, you're probably thinking a big decision just came down.
So the natural assumption is that a huge legal battle just reached its climax. A winner was crowned, a loser had to pack it in. But is that actually what happened here? Let's treat this thing like a little mystery we're going to solve together.
Okay, so to solve this mystery, we've got to look for clues hidden right here in the document itself. Let's start breaking it down, piece by piece.
First off, where are we? Well, this isn't your local traffic court. This is the Federal Circuit, a really powerful court in Washington, D.C. They handle some very specific, high-stakes appeals. We're talking things like international trade, patents, and big claims against the U.S. government.
Next up, who are the players? On one side, we have Linda L. Hoppe, the appellant. That's just a fancy word for the person who lost a case in a lower court and is now appealing to this higher court, hoping to get that decision flipped. And on the other side, we've got the appellee, the Secretary of Veterans Affairs, who's here to respond to that appeal.
And right away, we find our first huge clue. See this word at the top, non-precedential? Now, this is a critical detail. It means that whatever happened here, it doesn't create a new legal rule that other courts have to follow in the future. This order is a one-off. It's designed only to solve this specific fight between these two parties.
So, we've set the stage. We know the court. We know the people involved. Now, let's get to the heart of it all. The actual order from the court.
And there it is, the key phrase, the proceeding is dismissed. I mean, that sounds so final, so absolute, right? It sounds like someone lost, big time. Case closed.
Which brings us to the obvious question, doesn't it? If the case got dismissed, who came out on top? Was it Miss Hoppe, or was it the government?
But the real answer isn't about winning or losing. It's actually hidden in plain sight, right in the first 6 words of the order, the parties having so agreed. This changes everything. This wasn't some verdict handed down by a judge after a dramatic showdown. It was an agreement.
This whole thing points to a super common but kind of hidden part of the legal world. The court even cites the specific rule here, FRAP 42B. To put it simply, this rule is just the formal procedure for both sides to go to the court and say, hey, we've worked this out ourselves. You can officially close the books on this one.
So that brings us to the next big question. Why would anyone go through all the time and all the expense of filing a federal appeal only to just agree to dismiss it? Why do so many of these cases just quietly disappear?
Well, there are a ton of really practical reasons. The most common one is that a private settlement was reached. Maybe one side agreed to pay the other or to give them the benefits they were fighting for. Sometimes it's just about the money. The legal fees are getting way too high for everybody. And crucially, it's about certainty. Instead of risking a total loss in front of a judge, agreeing to dismiss the case lets both sides control the outcome.
So what does this tell us about the bigger picture of justice? Because it's often not what we see in the movies.
On the one hand, you've got our typical idea of justice, the courtroom verdict. It's a public showdown, an adversarial conflict where a judge picks a winner. But on the other hand, you have the reality of a voluntary dismissal like this one, a private, collaborative resolution where the parties themselves agree on the outcome. Which kind of leaves us with a final thought to chew on. We tend to think that the ultimate form of justice is a big verdict handed down by a judge. But this little one-page order, well, it suggests another possibility. Maybe the most effective kind of justice isn't always the one decided for people, but the kind they work out for themselves.
And before we sign off, just a quick reminder, this is for entertainment and educational purposes only. This is not legal advice. Thanks for tuning in.